Lately, I've been thinking a lot about relationships, about wanting one, about feeling like I'm ready for one. I've been single for a while now, and for a long time, I kept saying to myself, "I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm independent, I'm focusing on myself, I'm growing, um, etc." And all of that was true, but at the same time, I knew that I wanted connection. I wanted to share a life with someone, not out of loneliness, but out of like from a healthier place. So I've been thinking about why I keep sabotaging my relationships. And because, yeah, I keep saying to myself that I'm growing and I want to attract a right partner and whatever. But uh, the growth is an like endless journey. And isolating yourself. And I did it a lot during my teen years as well. That's not an excuse, to not, because you grow, to not experience the life. And I'm not talking only about romantic relationships, relationship, just in general. And so yeah, that what's been in my mind, on my mind, like why do I keep pushing pushing it away, like sabotaging the relationship I say I want. And I knew there were a wall, like there was something that were blocking. There was something that was going on, and I couldn't quite pinpoint what was going on. Um, so during my therapy sessions, I something came out, and it was fear of rejection. Like one of the things is a huge fear of rejection, and I talked. I think I made a video about it, fear of rejection, and I think I'm getting better with it, but I still have it apparently. So, um, I know it sounds obvious, boring, fear of rejection. But what shook me wasn't realizing I had it. It was realizing how much it was controlling my behavior, without me really noticing. The decision I was making, the way I was behaving, etc., like it was all based on the fear of rejection. I cannot with my hair. It's so oh my god, I tried so many things. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna get upset with my hair right now. Oh, oh my god. Okay. So it was like frustrating to realize how much it was controlling my life. Kind of knew it was there, but I didn't realize it was shaping the way, like I said, I approach people, the way I open up, the way I protect myself. For me, the idea of being rejected is something more terrifying than rejection itself. It's not the moment, it's the anticipation, if that makes sense. The what if, the imagination of being unwanted, misunderstood, not chosen. And because of that fear, I don't fully put myself out there in the way I want to, or in the way I say I want to. Um, I tell myself I do, but I'm honestly don't. I keep distance, I stay guarded, I protect myself a lot, I show parts of myself but not all of me. I stay in control, and I understand there's a lot of people who does that. Like there's a lot of people doing that. Um but sometimes I even avoid getting to know someone at all, because avoiding feels safer than risky. Because what if it doesn't, like, work out. um Fear of rejection doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like being, all right, chill. I don't know. It sounds, but sometimes to look like independence. Yeah, that's I think the right word I want to describe it with. Like it looks more like independence. Keeping distance looks like you're so independent, like you don't need anyone. But why you keep distance? Like because of that fear of rejection. Because deep down inside, like most of the time, like you crave that like real connection. And like back to like looking like you are very independent, you can also look like you're not caring, like you're not bothered, um, etc. For me, a lot of this comes from my teenage years, like being ghosted, like going on a first date, being traumatized for life because I was after the first date, I was 16, but I was ghosted, and I don't know, that's something. I'm going deep here, but like that's something changed in me, and like made me overthink. Should I go with this person? Should I not? Should I trust this person? Like after that, like how much of overthinking start happening in my head, like I cannot even explain to you. Especially during this age when everything feels intense and personal, and you're going through a lot of changes like that. I think that's why it was more um even more traumatizing experience than it maybe if it would happen like right now. Actually not having the right tools, not having therapy at that moment, like of course that also impacts a lot about like childhood ones, but teenage, um like j- a lot of things that happens a lot of during our teenage years can impact us a lot and mess us up as deeply as like during childhood. Although I know we before 7 there is whatever, but yeah, like teenage experience are also like very important and they shape us. Finally realized that oh my god, I have a huge fear. It's bigger than I thought it was, of rejection, and that's like the number one thing that blocking me. um so I felt in the moment scared, um frustrated, like I said, but in the same time, well, like immediately said to myself, so what? So what? Like saying that actually, like feeling it, like I felt it, not just saying it, like so what? And it took a lot of work for me to get there. Yes, at the moment I felt like, oh my god, I'm so frustrated with it. But a couple of like seconds later, I was like, so what? And to come to that place took a lot of like work, internal work. It's easy, like saying so what? It's easy, but believing in it, it's not. Because rejection hurts, and romantic rejection hurts differently, and I think sometimes even more. Maybe no, I may be completely wrong. It depends. It depends on the situation, but it hurts your ego as well. It makes you question yourself. It makes you think something about you isn't enough. Your body, your personality, your past, your choices. I understand that feeling, but I keep reminding myself there are so many people in the world. One person not choosing you doesn't define your value. It doesn't. And sometimes you cannot hear that. And again, it takes a lot of work to you understand it but truly feel it, that like One person doesn't define your value, and nobody defines your value. Oh my god, my accent is coming strong today. Um, the only person who can define your value is you. That all that matters. Um, so most of the time rejection has nothing to do with you. People are in different places, they want different things, they dealing with things they don't explain, they are not ready, or they are confused, or they are emotionally unavailable, and sometimes they just don't feel a connection, and that doesn't mean you did something wrong. We tend to personalize, especially rejection, immediately. Like, we just jump straight into conclusions, insecurities, etc. We think it's because of how I look, it's because of these things I hate about myself, it's because I'm not enough. But that's not, like, most of the time, that's not the truth. It's insecurities, fear that like take over um, in those moments. Um, so if someone ghosts you or don't give you closure, that like um it depends. Like, if it was you saw each other only one time, I think okay, whatever. um but if it's someone who you like knew for a while and without any explanation they just disappear, that's weird. I don't know, that's just, that says probably more about them, although maybe something happened, but again, like, it says more about them than about you. Because if things were not working out, you can always talk and you can always explain, like, right now I don't feel like I want to stay in this connection or whatever, and that's it. um so yeah, it's probably not about you, but if you keep attracting the same pattern, people who disappear, people who are inconsistent or emotional unavailable, that's not about like, it's not about like blaming yourself, it's my fault, but it's about like going deeper and understanding what is happening there. Why do I keep attracting the same type of people, the same type of situations, and I don't like those situations, but they keep happening? um you know, that's like, I think, worst time to look deeper, and that's where therapy really helped me. And I know I talked about therapy a lot, but honestly, it changed my life. Like, it changed my life. Um, your friends are not your therapist, and you are not your therapist either. Either. So, friends can support. They can support you, and it's beautiful if you have those people in your life. Like, it's priceless when you have someone who can truly support you. Um, but they cannot, like, they can't help you untangle unconscious patterns. And therapy isn't like one thing, there are so many types. Like there is like someone are practical and structured, some are emotional and deep, some focus on the present, some on the past. um there is so many types of therapy, and there is so many different methods, and if like one doesn't work for you, you can try another. It's not only about the therapist. Oh, she's not a good therapist, or he is not a good therapist, I'm not gonna work with them anymore. It's not only about the person, it's about the methods they use, and there are different methods, and you just need to find and understand what methods they are working with. And I think even before like booking a session, you can read a little like about them. Usually there's a description, what method they use, etc. So finding the thing that will work, like the method that will work the best for you, and if you need to try different methods before you like before you can settle and find the one that works for you. And I just hit my table like I don't know why. Um, so like again, therapy. I cannot tell you enough how therapy is important, and that like your friends are they are not your therapist again. Like it's like the blind leading the blind. I don't know. It's I just quoted a theory, yes, but so one exercise my therapist did with me really stayed with me. They asked me what are things I genuinely liked about myself. What are qualities someone could love about me. So we were talking about the rejection and she asked me this. And what surprised me, what another thing is my first thoughts were not kind. Like they were critical. She asked me what is just a couple of nice things that someone can love about you. The first thing that came to my mind were like critical thoughts. The good things were there, but it was like, like they were, how to explain it, like underneath the critical ones. Um, like I had to dig to reach them. On the surface, there were judge. Oh my god, I cannot speak. There was judgment, self criticism, not enough. And that made me realize like my inner voice is mostly critical. How do I expect to feel like safe being seen by someone else? Like that self criticism is a defense, like a defense mechanism. Um, it protects me from rejection, but stopping me before I ever try. But it also keeps me stuck. So here's the shift I'm slowly learning. Being okay with rejection starts with accepting yourself. When your worth isn't dependent on how someone reacts to you, rejection like still hurts, but it doesn't destroy you. You stop seeing it as a proof that something is wrong with you and you start seeing it as a part of being human. And slowly the wall comes down. You open a little bit more. I sound like like a quote, but you start to risk a little bit more. You allow yourself to live finally. You allow yourself to enjoy your life finally. You stop letting fear dictate, because even if you feel fear, you're gonna do it anyway. Um, so yeah, if this resonates with you, you just becoming aware, I think, and having the right tools can help a lot to deal with it. Um, so yeah, sometimes awareness is the most powerful first step out of a pattern you've been repeating without even realizing it. I hope you liked it. I don't know if it was very structured what I said and if it makes sense, but I hope it does. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.